Hi folks, I'm Adam Fluhrer.
I'm Bryan Clark, and we're coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee, from Plethertone Studios with Premier Guitar, a very special episode to profile a 1983 Howard Dumble Overdrive Special.
This is from my mentor, Mr. Steve Watson, who is a studio session great in Los Angeles, who played with, he was Mike Post's first call guitar player.
Yeah. And Bruce Hornsby.
And Bruce Hornsby, played with Dolly Parton, B.B. King, people like that.
Yes,
but this amp was featured on all of those great TV shows. So you heard this on Magnum P.I., on Hill Street Blues, on Simon & Simon, on Remington Steele.
A-Team.
Any of this stuff, even movies like 16 Candles, Weird Science, the Dumble was probably a part of that. At this point in history, Howard was a very famed amp tech who was building small amounts of amplifiers. David Lindley had used one famously for the Running on Empty solo and the Jackson Browne stuff. Jackson Browne had one. Lowell George had one. But then people at this era, in 1983, Robin Ford bought his. Larry Carlton bought his famous one, and that famous Mr. 335 tone. All of that was coming about because of this very amplifier.
Yeah.
This is serial number 133.
And it's got 6L6s.
And this, in accordance with Mr. Howard Dumble's laws, you have either 100 watt or 50 watt. In this case, you can switch them back and forth, and then very rarely he made a 150 watt overdrive special.
Well, what are we going to play through?
I don't know. Let's see.
Okay.
Brian, why don't you take us a little walkthrough of what we're going to start out with today, playing-wise?
Well, we've got a Collings I-35 Deluxe with Lawler Imperial humbucker pickups.
Very nice.
Yep.
Kind of a classic take on the PAF tone.
Absolutely. It's an amazing guitar. Here is a 1960 vintage Stratocaster, all stock. We also have a 1961 Custom Esquire with vintage Joe Barden pickups on it.
Next we have a 1999 Fender Custom Shop 51 No-Caster reissue. Stock pickups.
What about the saddles?
Glendale saddles on this, but other than that, stock right all the way through. Next up we have kind of a fun little piece. This is Tom Holmes.
Oh yeah.
Tom Holmes designed this guitar, well actually built this guitar out for a Japanese company, but these are very famed Tom Holmes PAF pickups. So some people should be interested to hear that through the Dumble. This is a lot of fun right here. This is a Gibson Custom Shop Leroy Parnell model with custom wound Ron Ellis pickups that Leroy and him worked very hard together on. But not only is this a Leroy Parnell model, this is Leroy Parnell's guitar. This is prototype number 1. This is LRP's guitar. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Those pickups, once again, based off the PAF. Then we have over here a newer take on the Gibson Les Paul Jr. This is P90s, and this is set up as a slide guitar. Thought we'd kind of play through the Dumble with that.
Yeah, definitely. We need to do that. It's going to be good.
Nice, real nice.
Yeah, sounds good. Just about everywhere.
And that's why, you know, Howard Dumble was also known for making his amps sound really clean and really dirty.
Yeah, the clean sounds on every guitar we've done so far has just been amazing.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Yep. Okay, so folks, what we're going to do now is take you step by step through the panel of the Overdrive Special and show you what each of these knobs actually does. What you'll notice on the far left is two inputs. You have a FET input and a normal input. The FET channel was originally designed by Dumble to plug an acoustic guitar into it, believe it or not. For most purposes, you're always going to use the normal channel. It's going to give you the best signal to noise ratio. Next to that, we have a volume. It's pretty self-explanatory. But these three little toggle switches here do bear some need for explanation, and you need to have the audio to go with it. So Adam's going to play a little bit, and I'll adjust these, and you can hear the differences between the two. The first one is a bright switch. You either put it on or off. Mid bump, and you'll hear it really engage. Go ahead. Now the next one, on this particular model, Dumble made it in 3 ways. You can switch between a rock setting and a jazz setting. There used to be a bypass in between, right in the dead center of it, that would bypass the tone stack that would happen. But in this case, that's not an option. So we have a rock choice and a jazz choice. And what you'll notice is when it goes to the jazz choice, we're actually going to have a mid scoop, and even it going down into the low mids, it's not going to be as present as it is in the rock. EQ for this tone stack here. I'll just sort of twist the treble and the mid and the bass, and you can hear the differences and the range of each. Notice on this particular type of EQ, the treble isn't as drastic as it is for the middle and the bass. It's much more noticeable for these two because that's going to be the range that our ear is the most active, but also it just affects that low mid and that bottom punch that's so hallmark tone characteristics of these great amps. That's exactly where you're going to be really moving it. So, all right. Next is the overdrive circuit, which is the hallmark of the Overdrive Special. It's connected to the foot pedal. We're going to engage it, and I'm going to show you the differences between the level and the ratio. They work in some ways counterintuitively. Let's go ahead and try it.
Okay, so here's it normal, and here's engaged.
Go ahead and play. See that if I twist one or both of the knobs all the way counterclockwise, it completely cuts the volume off almost entirely. So these are meant to be used in conjunction with each other. And what it's really doing is acting as almost a glorified presence knob.
Yeah.
That's really the way it's working. So now I'll start to use them and see if we can sculpt the overdrive tone to a more sweeter spot. Go ahead.
Okay. And that's nice, you could hear on the ratio, it can get buzzier in
Yeah.
that section. So there's a
does.
nice kind of in between both.
It's
of those.
subtle. It's very subtle,
Yeah.
but if you really want to have total control over that overdrive,
Yeah.
not only if you can't find it here, you can get it here.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
And then finally we have a master volume, and we also have a presence knob. So master volume is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll do the presence knob. You can see how much control you have. Ladies and gentlemen, is the Dumble Overdrive Special controls and a good demo of what each knob does.